I think we've all had that one friendship that really stuck with us but eventually got over. And also, we've all had that one super toxic friendship. Your friend circle really tells a lot about who you are and who you want to be, basically. It impacts and influences your life a lot. So, if you feel lonely and want to have a healthy friend circle, or you want to heal from a toxic friend, or if you want to learn how to avoid toxic friends, then keep watching. Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, let's get into it. First of all, I want to start by saying that you're not meant to keep the same friends forever. I know that it's human psychology to stay the same, to have the same friend circle throughout the life, but that's not reality. You change, you evolve as a person. Your personality, your habits, your routines, your goals, your dreams, your behavior, it all changes and it evolves. And so does your friend circle, and so does the people around you. Everybody changes. And that is why even if you feel like the friend group that you have right now, you love them so much, right? You love them and you're really grateful to have them as your friends. But please remind yourself that you are not meant to stay with those same friends. Yes, if it's going on amazing, if your friendship's going on super like healthy, you've got a healthy friendship and it's going on, you all are interacting on a regular basis, and you just have a good friendship that's going on, that's amazing. But if you all seem to drift off for XYZ reason, or you all seem to, you get aware of the toxicity of them or somebody else, you just grow out of them, right? Because you grow out of people. You grow out of your old habits, you grow out of old friends, you grow out of old behaviors, your old personalities. We all grow out of it. No matter if you like it or not, it does happen. It happens against your choice because we are meant to change and evolve as we go through every second of our life. Because see, you can change even in a day, you can change in 1 week, you can change in 1 month, and progressively you can change, right? And you can even change in a second. It all depends on the decision you make. So right now, if you decide that yes, I have these friends, but I think they're toxic for me, I think the influence they're having on me is severe, and I don't want it to be like I don't want it to be that way. But I'm choosing to still stay friends with them because I'm afraid that I'll feel lonely. Right now, you're choosing to stay this way. So it all depends on your choice. And to be honest, sometimes it's not even choice. It's just we evolve for XYZ reason. You can't always back up your friendship breakups with the reason. Sometimes it's just because you don't align anymore. You just grow out of that old friendship, and it's totally fine. Because see, you've bought a cloth after 2-3 years, even after 1-2 years, right? You will grow out of it. It will get smaller on you, right? You won't be able to fit in it. It happens with our personalities, our friendships, our relationships, our behavior, habits, routines, goals, all of it. We change. Like right now, for example, I want to become a doctor. After 2 years, I might say that no, I don't think I resonate with that. I think I want to become like a fashion designer or something. So it completely depends, because with time we change, we evolve. So you're not meant to keep the same friendships. So that's why stop holding on to them as if you're like too afraid to let it go, and you're too afraid to just loosen up your grip. Believe me, it's hurting you more than it's hurting them, because when you actually hold a balloon too tight, it bursts. So that's why stop holding on to them and stop getting attached. It's amazing you've got a lovely friendship, it's amazing that they bring you joy, and it's amazing that you have a good time with them. But your entire life shouldn't revolve around your friends, and you shouldn't be too attached with them, and you shouldn't uh, let your happiness depend on them, like you only get happy when you meet them. No, it should never be like that. If it is like that, believe me, you need to go so far on your journey to self love and self sufficiency right now, because believe me, being attached gives you nothing. It gives you nothing, because wanting everything gives you nothing, because you're just like so desperate for it. Desperate, whenever God senses desperate energy, He takes away the things from you, because you're just too impatient, you're just too desperate, and it's not supposed to go that way. So yes, you will not keep the same friends for you. You might think at this point that yes, this is my best friend and she's gonna be my best friend till we age and we die. It's not gonna be that way. That's the reality check. Next thing, get comfortable with cutting people off. I know this might sound so toxic and you'll be like, oh my god, what are you talking about? Like you don't want your relationships and friendships to work. I'm not saying that you should just cut people off because of fun, because they're ugly or they're poor. No, it's not like that. It's totally about the mentality. See, when you get attached to somebody, like too attached, like you're too desperate. Like I had this friendship, I still have it, right? But I've just grown from it. Like I still have the friendship, but I have evolved as a person, as to how I present myself in that friendship, how I become, how I be as their friend. I hope you get what I mean. So basically, I had this friendship, I still have it, yes. So I have this friendship where I was like, I was so desperate and I was so attached. Like I would completely overthink. Like, what if we drift off? What if I don't get friends like them anymore? What if what if we don't meet? What if we don't hang out? I won't get people like these anymore. I was too attached, and the only thing that was bringing me joy was their voices when I actually met them. Nothing else. Everything felt so like depressive, and I felt like I didn't feel like doing anything. I was very attached. I constantly went to my Instagram, checking their messages, went to WhatsApp, checking their texts, and constantly calling them to see if they pick up. But believe me, it hurt me so much from inside, and I'm just trying to heal from that. So that's why I'm saying, like, don't get too attached. Don't become too desperate, because desperate energy, it literally breaks you from inside. It's hurting you, and you're not even realizing it, because you're not giving your inner voice a chance to speak up. It's already speaking up, but you're just not hearing it. And this happens because you are afraid that if you lose these kind of people, you're not going to find new friends again. It's not like that. The world is huge. There are 8 billion people out there. Do you really think you won't find another friend? Do you really think you won't meet new people? You are thinking from a lack perspective. You're completely in a lack mindset, because when you actually think like, what if I don't get better friends? What if we all drift off? You're thinking from a lack mentality, because you think there's not enough to go around in the world, but you're wrong. The world is abundant, you are abundant, and you need to establish that mindset, the abundance mindset, where you think that there's enough to go around in the world and you deserve the best out of it. So that's why when you see a toxic person, don't be like, oh, what if I get lonely? What if I don't find a friend again? No, you will find it. There are 8 billion people. So shut up and go and cut them off, because it's draining you of life. And you know what? You're not supposed to blame them. You're not supposed to tell them that, oh, you were so bad, you were so toxic, and all of that. No, you're just simply letting them go, because everybody has their own reasons. It's perspective. Ever since I've started studying psychology, I've stopped blaming people, because everybody has their own stories and perspective, and sometimes all you can do is feel empathetic for the person who's doing you bad, right? Because maybe they're doing it for a reason. I'm not saying that reason is good enough to actually go out and hurt somebody, but I'm saying they have their reason, and they're struggling to actually become aware of themselves, and they're struggling to make good choices. So I feel empathetic towards them, right? I don't blame them. I don't go out and blame toxic friends. I just cut them off. They're out of my life, out of sight, out of mind, and I don't think about them too much. I just let them go. Like, there's this exercises online where, like, whenever you get overthinking thoughts, or you get these thoughts about your friendships loneliness, like, imagine there's a speech bubble over you with that thought, and you just pop it with an imaginary needle, something like that. And that really helped me, to be honest. So yes, getting back to the point, yes, don't, like, cut off the people, but don't get attached with them, and don't start blaming them, because everybody has their own reasons. Yes, they can be bad reasons, but you do not get the right to judge them. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but they are making that choice, and they are going to be responsible for it at the end of the day. You are not, however. You're responsible for the choices that you make. So if you see a toxic friendship, no matter if they're your best friends, or no matter if you just met them 2 days ago or 2 months ago, cut them off if you feel like they're draining you. Cut them off if you feel like, if you see all the toxic signs. I'll make another video perhaps someday that tells you about all the toxic signs from a friend, because it's a really vast topic and I can't cover it in one video. So I'll maybe do that later on after this video, maybe. Also, another thing, just because you like somebody or somebody likes you back, like as a friend, of course, doesn't mean that you align with them, and that doesn't mean that they get access to your friendship so easily. Your friend circle matters so much, and it's really so much about spiritual hygiene, because if you start becoming friends with anybody and everybody, you're literally doing an energy exchange with them, right? Energy exchanges, your energy gets transferred to the other people, and a person, and the other person's energy gets transferred for you. So their energy, however good or bad it may be, let me take an example. So basically, they're super toxic, they're super narcissistic, and they love putting people down in order to push themselves up. They always like to blame other people, complain about their problems, and do nothing about them, even though they do get the opportunities to solve that problem. So you're gonna make an energy exchange with that kind of person, because you're hanging out with them. See, you can't say that only a kid can get influenced. It's never like that. Even an 80-year-old person can get influenced. Anybody can get influenced. It's never about age. Because I had this one friend, by the way, she's not my friend anymore. So basically, like, she said, I was like, your friend circle, because I was very affected by the friend circle that she had. Like, I was a best friend with, she had another this best friend, right? It was a girl, and I didn't like her company at all. I did not. I don't know, I just got the vibes. Maybe I just disliked her, whatever. So I started telling my friend that she's having an influence on you, on an impact on you. So I was starting to take responsibility for her. My number one mistake. Okay, I'm not responsible for her. I was trying to control her, direct her to her direction, but she was not listening to me, so there was no point in that. And then she fought with me for that exact reason. I do not blame her. It's totally fine. It was her decision. God bless her, whatever it is. So she told me that when I told her and confronted her that, your friends are having an impact on you and I'm not liking it. She said that, oh, I'm not a 6-year-old kid that can get influence. Guys, that is so wrong, because anybody in the world can get influenced. Your age does not matter. Your age does not define the age does not define who gets to be influenced and impacted by a certain person. Anybody can get influenced, right? So when you just because somebody likes you or you like somebody, doesn't mean you go out and be friends with anybody and everybody, because you have to keep your circle clean. Maintaining spiritual hygiene, let's please normalize it. Let's normalize choosing our friends instead of just becoming friends with anybody, because if you're becoming friends with anybody, you're attracting their energy into your life. And don't even let me start on how much that impacts you, because of course it does. I think you pretty much get the point. And alignment means that you align with that person in terms of your beliefs, your thought patterns, your mentality. And of course, alignment does not mean that you two are same, like you're a copy, you're a duplicate of each other. That cannot happen, because everybody is different. Everybody is different and unique in their own way. So you never find a person that's exactly as you are. So you stop searching for a friend that's like you, because you won't find one. It's just that you have to align with your mentality, your mindset, someone who gets you and you get them, and someone who doesn't drain you and you don't drain them. Like, it's like a fulfilling, loving, healthy friendship. It fulfills you, right? It literally gives you energy and you give them. Like, whenever you hang out with them, you feel good. You don't feel guilty, you don't feel sad, you don't feel angry while discussing things with them. You simply let the conversation flow and you just be with that person, and you just feel happy, you feel good. But later on, you're not also dreading, like, oh, where are they, I need them, because that's simply desperateness. So that's what alignment means. You align with the person, the personality. Just because you like somebody doesn't mean you go out and be friends with them. Coming to my next point, I want you to realize, like, I want you to question how you feel afterwards when you were interacting with somebody, when you were sitting, hanging out with somebody. Because how you feel afterwards tells you a lot about who the kind of person is and whether they align with you or not. You get in, because as I said, you exchange energies when you hang out with people, you talk with people. So once you're actually done hanging out with them later on, ask yourself, how do you feel? Like, I had this friend, again, she's not my friend anymore. I haven't had a huge luck in the friendship department, but I'm not complaining about it, to be honest. So I had this friend, and whenever I would sit with her, like, we would gossip a lot, we would judge other people a lot, right? And later on, I would always end up feeling guilty. Like, I promise myself that I will not gossip. I promise myself that I'll not judge people. Like, yes, I can have an opinion about somebody and not like somebody, but I was straight up judging them for their choices and all of that sort of stuff, right? And I felt so guilty afterwards. I was like, no, this is not who I want to be. So I felt guilty in that moment. Sometimes when you're with energy vampires, somebody who drains your energy, right? In an energy exchange, somebody might also drain your energy, take on your energy, or something along the lines of that, right? Whatever it is, basically. So sometimes when you sit with them and afterwards you feel so drained, you feel lethargic, you feel like, I just don't feel good anymore. And later on you might feel angry for whatever reason. So just observe how you feel afterwards, because it tells you a lot about the kind of vibe the person has. And that's really what we're looking for over here. Do you feel good with that person? Do you align with that person? Look out for energy vampires who drain you, right? Who take you away from who you really are. Look out for them and stay the hell away from them. Next thing, assess your friends. And no, this does not mean judging them for their life choices. By assessing, I mean, how do they treat you? how do they treat other people, and what kind of a person are they really. And you're not judging them for it. Like, let's say you wanted to assess a friend. Like, I wanted to I was like, yeah, I want to talk to these people, but should I even hang out with her even more? So I start assessing her, right? But so I figured out, like, I got to know that she's the kind of person who always doubts herself, has a low self-esteem. So when I get to know that person, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, she's like so dumb, she's so like, why does she not why does she has such a low self-esteem, she's stupid, she's dumb. I'll not start judging her. I simply be like, yes, she has a low self-esteem, so I feel like she needs to work on herself before working with somebody else, and I do not want her in my friend circle. That's what assessment means. You're not like simply putting like bad marks on people. You're simply crossing them out or ticking them based on if you like them or not, if you align with them or not. That's what assessment means. Please do not confuse it with judgment, otherwise no, you just don't get it otherwise. You really have to figure out what kind of person they are, who they want to be, and so that you can align with them. So to figure out if you align with them, and then start, hanging out with them or whatever. So, in order to assess them, you have to watch their self esteem, their beliefs, and values. Watch a person's self esteem. Always and always watch a person's self esteem, because how they feel about their self matters so much. Like, you wouldn't want to be with a person who's like super low, super underconfident, right? Who always, whenever somebody gives them the compliment, they're like, no, I'm not this and I'm not that. I'm so ugly. I'm so stupid. How can you say that? I'm not like that. Any of that stuff. I try to stay away from that kind of people, because, as I said, you're doing an energy exchange. So that low self-esteem energy, it will catch on to you when you start hanging out with them. So you have to keep that in mind. And it's not like you're abandoning them. Offer them help. Offer them help and try to help them. But again, as I said, you have to help somebody. But if you see that they're not making use of your help at all, they within them don't have a decision to change themselves. That's your sign. That's your cue to walk away. So watch somebody's self-esteem, because it matters so much. That's why we have to emphasize in today's world too. We have to emphasize on self-love, on self-development, self-growth, self-healing, and self-care, all of those kinds of stuff, because it really matters. It really affects us. And also watch the person's beliefs and value. Like, a person can have limiting beliefs. Like, date rich people, date and become friends with rich people. Now, by rich people, I do not mean people who actually have the wealth, who actually have the money, who has the big home, who has the good like beautiful wealthy cars. No, become friends with somebody who has the rich mentality, who has the abundance mentality, who knows that there's enough to go around in the world, and who knows that I have big goals and I can achieve it. I can do it. I can and I will. That is the rich mentality that we're talking about. You really have to be rich from the mindset, not like, oh, I'm so poor, I'm so broke. Only rich people can have the money. Rich people are so stupid. Rich people are so rude. All of that. All of those are limiting beliefs, and those are the signs of a poor mindset, a poor person. You're rich, like wealth, and poor, like whether you're rich or poor, it does not get defined by your money. It does, like, yeah, it kind of does, but your mentality matters more than that, and that's what you have to look out when you actually want to be friends with somebody. Look at their values. Like, what do they really value? Like, for example, I had this friend who was like super misogynist, and he was like, women are supposed to cook. I know it's like so 1800th century something. I know it's so much like that, and I don't even know how I was friends with him. But either way, look out for a person's self-esteem, beliefs, and values, and see what aligns with you. Maybe you're the person who's actually aligning with those with that self-esteem, beliefs, and values, because maybe that's just a sign that you haven't cultivated love inside of yourself, and you haven't cultivated growth and development and healing inside of yourself. So that can be a sign to go out and do it yourself before working with others. Next thing, observe patterns. Now, I told you about that friend who was like getting impacted by her other friends, the one I was trying to control and direct to a better direction. I was becoming responsible for her. that friend was a very similar to a friend that I had before. So God gives you patterns, God gives you repetitive events in order to make you understand, in order to teach you a lesson. Sometimes you get the same you might question, like sometimes you might be getting the same situations over and over again, and it's hurting you every single time. Like for example, you're having a bad relationship with the narcissist every single time. Like one this year you had a narcissistic relationship, next year when you started going around again, you had the same kind of similar kind of uh, behavior relationship, right? So it's a sign from the universe that you are doing this wrong, you're choosing your people wrong, you're hanging out with the wrong people, you're trying to date the wrong people. So God is simply giving you lessons. Again, I gave you this example in any previous video of mine, where I was like, I was very attached to like a certain event will make me happy, like a trip will make me happy, a holiday will make me happy. So I would be very attached to it, and then that holiday always got cancelled every single time because I was too attached to it. I was like placing my happiness and expecting too much from it, desperateness basically. And I got that same situation again and again. Basically, God was trying to teach me a lesson that I'm being too desperate for it. I need to let go and chill out. And that's what you have to observe in friendships also. If you get repetitive patterns of similar friendships, please know that God is trying to teach you a lesson, and God is trying to teach you that this is not the right thing for you. You have to let go of this and explore what the world has to offer, what new does the world have. Because believe me, the limited mindset, limited mentality will get you nowhere. Next thing, be authentic. Please don't be a people pleaser. Please don't try to change yourself just because other people want you to change. Don't try to change yourself because you want somebody else to like you. Like that's so you. Like that sucks. That it literally makes me gag, because why are you literally changing yourself in order for somebody to like you? Who cares? Who cares? Do you like yourself enough? If you like yourself, then you get the answer. You get the answer that you don't need to change and evolve and grow because you want to, because you want to change your life around, not because somebody you want somebody else to like you. So that's why authenticity is very important in friendships. Like you become friends with, like this happens in the opposite case as well. Like you want to become friends with somebody, right? But on your first few meetings, they're like, wow, like you love them, right? You align with them. But once you actually start staying with them, you actually get to know their real personality. And that happens because they're not authentic to their true self. They're not representing who they really are deep down, right? They're trying to change themselves and lie and manipulate themselves, and you manipulate you as well. And that's why uh you know there you basically became friends with somebody who you may not even wanted to be friends with. So that's why that's a lesson for you, that you have to always be real. Be real, be true to who you are. Don't try to change yourself in order for to make friends. Be you. People who actually appreciate you for who you are will eventually find you. You don't have to change yourself in order to make friends. People that actually love you for who you are will find you. They will find you wherever you are, as whoever you are. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you learned something or the other from this video. I'll see you next week. You're worthy, you're blessed. Till that, remember to just relax.